My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug. Yo, this is going to be a dope episode because as y'all know, football season, the NFL season, college football is this weekend also, but the NFL season is right around the corner, man, and I got to talk to y'all about the NFC and give y'all my predictions of how I think the NFC is going to go down. So that's what the show is going to be about today. But before I go any further, man, if you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel as I am trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers. You feel me? So help me get there. You feel me? So if you're not already, please tell a friend who can be a friend who wants to possibly be your friend, The MTMO Sports Podcast is the sports podcast that you need in your life. So, like I said, man, please hit that like, share, subscribe button so you can get the notifications of where all my clips, shorts, and my live episodes will drop. You feel me? So, oh man, before I go ahead and also start the show, wrap it up a little bit, because like I said, man, we're going to talk about this NFC and somebody's feelings might get hurt. But I want to go ahead and give a happy birthday shout out to Kobe Bean Bryant, man, my GOAT, the greatest of all time, man. Today, man, he would have been 46, man, and it's still crazy, so unreal that Kobe is still not here, man. It still feel like his presence is here, especially when a lot of people are speaking to that, Mamba mentality, and it's not like Mamba mentality really just stuck to like just basketball. People use Mamba mentality in almost everything in life, man, whether it's workouts, whether it's in corporate 9 to 5, so whatever people is going through in life, they always just speak about that Mamba mentality. So which is you can just tell that Kobe had put a lot of effect on just not people in the basketball world, but also in the outside world, man. And that's why he's one of he is my greatest of all time. You feel me? And my favorite Kobe Bryant memory, man, is back in 2016 was his final going into his that was his final year. You feel me? His farewell tour. You know what I mean? The game I can actually say was my all-time favorite memory is me actually going to a Lakers game that year, man, and actually going all the way to LA and enjoying that West Coast time zone and West Coast atmosphere. That I was able to attend a Kobe Bryant game, man, and it was like dope. It was like the dopest feeling ever. It was just like actually saying, like speechless of like, damn, I'm actually here to watch a Kobe play on, possibly can be his last game, but this is his final year. And he was going against the Denver Nuggets that game, and my man dropped 28 points that game. Like I said, I'm never going to forget that game. So that's to me my personal all-time memory, because like I said, I was actually there and I was witness, my favorite player get a W and drop 28 points on his last year of playing. So pretty dope. It was a dope feeling that to have. So that is my all-time Kobe Bryant memory, man. So happy birthday to Kobe Bryant, the greatest of all time. But now let's go ahead and talk about this NFC, man, because I ain't gonna lie, man. I had to kind of scratch my head and think about like how I was going to even present this and what teams I feel like is going to possibly make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like I said, somebody feelings might get hurt depending on what's your team, who your team is, who you repping. You feel me? But we're gonna start off with the NFC South, where you got the New Orleans Saints, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you got the Atlanta Falcons, and then you also got the Carolina Panthers. And my opinion, man, I think it's only going to be one team that comes out this division to actually make the playoffs, in my opinion, because this NFC South, in my opinion, is the weakest division in football. You know what I mean? Every goddamn year, there's somebody looking to come win this division, and it takes a long time. It takes all the way up to the last week to see who's going to win this division. And dang, I overstepped myself. I wanted to tell y'all that there's a little fun fact that in these this upcoming year there is 20% more. I mean, there's 20% new head coaches coming into the NFL, and it's 4. I mean, out of that, it's 8 of them. Breaks it down. There's 8 teams having new head coaches. 4 of them is in the NFC. 2 of them is in this division alone. You feel me? So a little fun fact before I get into it. The 2 teams that that's having new head coaches is the Atlanta Falcons. They're having Raheem Morris, who is this I think this is his second stint as the head coach. And you also have Dave Cannell, which was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator last year. So now he's the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And this was last year standings out of the NFC. You had the Atlanta Falcons that went 7-10. You had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that went 9-8. You had the New Orleans Saints who went 9-8, and you had the Carolina Panthers who went 2-15. And honestly, throughout this whole division, there's only one team that really made the splash and actually wanted to make a move in this offseason free agent, and it was the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons understood the assignment that they didn't want to be that sucker-ass team they was last year. You feel me? You can just see that they were just only a quarterback away of actually winning that division because they went 7-10. And you can just tell that Desmond Ritter and Tyler Heineke, no disrespect to Tyler Heineke, I think he's a good backup situation, but they wasn't trying to take the moment, seize the opportunity. Because like I said, this division was wide open throughout the whole damn year. It took all the way until week 18 to figure out who was going to win this division. So Atlanta Falcons went on here and said, you know what? Now I'm going to go ahead and actually build the team. Which they went on here and grabbed Kirk Cousins in the offseason. Now everybody was like, why would you pay for Kirk Cousins when you could have had Lamar Jackson the year before? You know what I mean? I don't understand that assignment, but they also understood that note and say, you know what? We did go ahead and take on an older quarterback who just coming off the same injury as Aaron Rodgers. Let's go ahead in the draft and to get a younger quarterback that we feel like we can put the future in his hands if Kirk Cousins doesn't perform right. So they went on here and draft Michael Penix Jr., which I think was a good move. Everybody scratched their head. It was like, you got Kirk Cousins, why not add another wide receiver or something else? You know what I mean? I feel like the Atlanta Falcons did the right thing by saying like, hey, Kirk Cousins might not be all the way ready in the beginning of the season. If not, we got a quarterback that can be ready instead of Tyler Heineke that we chasing behind. We got a quarterback that can kind of keep us in the race. So I understood why they did that. And not only did they just address the offensive side, they also addressed the defensive side. It might not have been in the draft, but they did it in trade and they did it in the free agency. They went on here and traded for Matt Judon, who was a good pass rusher out of New England, and they went on here and got what's his name, Justin Simons, who previously had played for the Denver Broncos. And I think that when you bring those 2 veterans in with the young guys they already have, and what's his name, Jarrett Grady and AJ Terrell, who just signed a big deal with Atlanta a couple of days ago, it's like now you're bringing in the right key veterans that also can bring some attention and help these young guys grow. So Atlanta was like, we're not just worrying about this year, we're worrying about the previous years after our bets is gone. And I think that's the right move. Now, I think that them getting Judon, if they don't sign Judon by mid-season to a contract extension, I think they're going to see what he brings to the table. But if he's doing having a decent season, I think if the Atlanta Falcons need to go ahead and sign Matt Judon before he tests free agency, because if he wind up having a ball-out year, his price is not going to be the same price that it was before. You feel me? So I think that, Matt Judon is going to have a great year, man. And in my opinion, I think that he's going to have a solid year. So the Atlanta Falcons had addressed both sides of the ball, you feel me, where the New Orleans Saints didn't really make a move, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really didn't make a move, nor the Carolina Panthers really made a move during this offseason other than what they did in draft. Now, my opinion, I just don't think that is going to be good enough to win the NFC South, in my opinion. So I actually just think that this is how it's going to go down in the South. I think the Atlanta Falcons will be 10-7. I think they're going to win this division. I think they're going to be the only team that have double-digit wins this year in this division. You feel me? So I really just think that Raheem Morris can really just long as he can bring that good leadership that he has on his resume and all that good stuff. And I just think that as long as Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr., whoever's going to be that quarterback, they just can make sure that they can just hit Kyle Pitts and they feed B Robinson. Man, I just think that the Atlanta Falcons will be an electrifying team. I just don't think that Tampa Bay Buccaneers did enough, but I still think they still can come close to having to win a season. For the New Orleans Saints, as I was looking at through their training camp, man, Derek Carr just don't really look like the guy to fit into that system. So I think that Derek Carr is going to have a struggling time down in New Orleans, and I think New Orleans need to start looking for the future. For the Carolina Panthers, they want to win some games, and I think they're going to be competitive. I think that Bryce Young can really step up in his sophomore year. As long as you can protect him, I think he will have a solid year, in my opinion. And I just think that it's not going to be a big jump, but I think they're going to win 4 more games than they won last year. So I think they're going to wind up being 6-11 with the New Orleans Saints. I think they're going to kind of hit what's the word? The adversity that they're going to kind of go over through is kind of finishing games. Because, it's a young team. You got a young quarterback. They're trying to figure out how can they finish these games. So I just think that that's what's going to be their problem up in this upcoming year. So 6-11 was, still not a bad year, but New Orleans Saints is also going to be 6-11, 8-9 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think the Atlanta Falcons will win this division. And in my opinion, I just think that this division is only going to produce one playoff team. So that means that it's a possibility that a couple of these divisions, or one of these divisions, let me say that, can sneak in 2 or more playoff teams, you feel me? So the next division I will want to go ahead and talk about, man, is I think that this is going to be a solid division. I think that this division got potential, but I just think that this division also is going to be won by a certain team, you feel me? And this is the NFC West, man, where you got the San Francisco 49ers, you got the LA Rams, you got the Arizona Cardinals, and you got the Seattle Seahawks. And my opinion, man, I just think that hands down that this division is going to be won by one team, you feel me? But I think that this division can potentially have 2 playoff teams coming out of this division, you feel me? So this is what the division looked like last year. You had the San Francisco 49ers finishing 12-5. You had the LA Rams go 10-7. You had the Seattle Seahawks go 9-8. You had the Arizona Cardinals, who didn't fully have Kyler Murray all year, went 4-13. Now, in my opinion, this division is going to be close by 2 teams. And it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams. Only reason why, because right now San Francisco is dealing with hella injuries. Like hella injuries. I believe that their injuries eclipse over 45 already now. So if that injury is still going to be a plague for them throughout the rest of the season, man, it's a chance that they can survive because their injuries is not dealing with that big dogs. You feel me? Like Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. And hopefully they can have this contract situation with Brandon Ayuk that I think that once they can get this situation in the books, I think that, or once he stepped back on the field, I think that the San Francisco 49ers is really, really going to be able to get things back and running and potentially maybe make the Super Bowl again. You feel me? And honestly, now that we didn't see enough of Brock Purdy, I'm pretty sure now the expectations for Brock Purdy is going to be a little bit higher than what it was last year. Because remember, it was a little bit of talks about Brock Purdy should have been in the MVP conversation and he should have been in the most improved conversation. You feel me? So, in the offensive player of the year. My bad, not most improved, but offensive player of the year. So I'm pretty sure that now we are looking at Brock Purdy a little bit different. We ain't looking at this guy like, oh my gosh, when is his luck going to run out? I think now we got to kind of consider looking at this guy as a true legit quarterback in the NFL. You feel me? I'm not going to say elite yet. I still feel like he still need to take some more leaps to get into that elite conversation, but he is most definitely a legit starter in this organization. And I just think that now we just need to see another growth spurt from him coming out of this year. You feel me? So I think that the San Francisco 49ers is going to be able to do that. The LA Rams, with their wide receiver core that they have, man, that young guy, what's his name? Dang, I forgot his name already. But the young guy that they drafted last year, he really stepped onto the scene last year, and he really put his name to actually kind of be on watch notice of this year and how he's going to produce for real. And then now you get a fully healthy Cooper Kupp. Woo-hoo-hoo. Remember, that's Mr. Triple Crown, man, so we can't fully go to sleep on him. So hopefully he can stay healthy. I think that the LA Rams can kind of just give San Francisco 49ers a run for their money for this division. Now, I'm not going to say that it's going to be like real close and real neck to neck about it, but I just really think that if things can stay right, like Matthew Stafford don't throw bad interceptions at the wrong time, Cooper Kupp can stay healthy. The young wide receiver that they drafted last year can really step up in his sophomore year. I just really think that and what's the running back name? What's his name? Keon Williams or Karen? I can't forget. I don't want to mess his name up. But that young running back that they have also, who I believe is in the top 15 rotation in the running backs in this league. I just really think that the LA Rams really have something going down there now. On the defensive side, I still think it's still some holes that they need to fill, but I really just think that they can be competitive. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, they also got a new head coach, which I'm sad to say that he was the Ravens defensive coordinator last year, and Mike McDonald. Most definitely, I wish you nothing but the best there in Seattle, because I think that what you did for Baltimore, I think you can still bring that to Seattle also. And I just think that what Mike McDonald can really bring to the table, especially on that defense. He's a mastermind on that defense coordinator, and the way he built that Ravens defense last year, man, it was so Seattle might got something in the rough, and it might take some time. You know, I mean, he got to get the right pieces, but I think Seattle got something. But now we need to see either what's up with Geno. Geno, is you going to be the guy? Are you going to have a better year than what you had last year? Or do Seattle need to go in the market and start looking for another quarterback? You feel me? So I just think that we most definitely need Geno to actually make a step up and really show out this year. And then we got the Arizona Cardinals. I think that you get a fully healthy Kyler Murray. I think you get a competitive year. Now, I don't think that it's going to be them taking over their division, not just yet, but a fully healthy Kyler Murray, and then you got that young guy Marvin Harrison Jr. that you drafted this year. Seattle got something. Long as that those two connections can really work, man, because I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is really going to be a lookout guy to look for. You feel me? Because I really just think that I understand that this is a quarterback league, and that offensive rookie of the year is probably already trying to be considered to Caleb Williams. But if Marvin Harrison can really show out like he did in Ohio State, man, and he's already a big wide receiver who got speed and they can run good routes just like his pops used to. Ooh, Arizona might have something. So I most definitely would like to see Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison have a good connection this upcoming year. You feel me? So this is how I think that the NFC West will unfold. I still think that the San Francisco 49ers, even with their injuries, even with that Brandon Ayuk contract situation, I think that that's going to get handled. I still think that the 49ers can go back to being 12-5. Now, I really just think that I had to scratch my head. 11-6 is where I really wanted to go, but you never know. You know what I mean? Like I said, with Kyle Shanahan, man, he's a mastermind on this kind of designing plays. The LA Rams, I think, is going to also, like I said, make it competitive as long as everything can stay right for his health. And I think they're going to also be 10-7 like they was last year. And I think that the LA Rams go ahead and make the playoffs also. For the Seattle Seahawks, man, I really think that Mike McDonald going to have a solid year, but it's not going to be a winning season this year unless Geno have a ball out year. And I think they're going to finish 8-9, which is not too bad, but I'm pretty sure that Mike McDonald really want to have make a playoff appearance. But with the Rams and the 49ers already have a stout team, I would just think that it's going to take some time for them to actually be more competitive than 8-9. The Arizona Cardinals, like I said, it all depends on Kyler Murray and how he can progress as a quarterback. If him and Marvin Harrison Jr. can really have a good connection, I think that they can also have a good year, but it's not going to be good enough to actually for them to have a winning season. But I think that from a jump from what they was last year, it's a good season. You feel me? I think they're going to finish at 7-10. So I still think that the 49ers is the dominant team in this division, but like I said, they can actually go ahead and finish 11-6 and possibly be 10. And the Rams can actually be trying to catch them down the line. So it all depends on how, the season plays out for these teams, man. I got a couple of comments for my guy Chris Puka Nuka, my man. See, I'm glad that you see what. You must like the Rams or something on the low, man. I thought you was a Giants fan, man. But no, man. I appreciate you helping me out on that one, man. Salute to you, my guy. So yeah, if the Rams can most definitely have those two step up and have a good sophomore year, man, I really just think that possibly that the Rams can be real competitive when it comes to the NFC West. You feel me? Now, I think that this is the division right here that can really, 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 really hurt somebody's feelings this year, man. This is one of the divisions, you feel me? And I just think that this division is really going to be, it's not the best division, you know what I mean, in this conference, you feel me? But this is the division that's very entertaining. I think this is the division that, my opinion, is the third best division, only because of the entertainment that these teams really give you feel me? And it's always not just on the field. It's kind of like off the field too. And that is the NFC East, where you have the New York Giants, the Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles, you feel me? And y'all already know where I'm going at with this, because y'all, it's always something when it comes to this division, man. Now, this division is going to be, like I said, entertaining, and you need to keep your eye on it, because for the simple fact that it was a couple changes and a team that really didn't do no changes. It happened in this division. You feel me? Like the Giants went on here and drafted a real good stout wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. I feel like this guy can really become a number one wide receiver once he learns the game a little bit more. I think that he's really going to actually make a big impact this year for the Giants. The Washington Commanders, they went on here and drafted their a rookie quarterback, and Jaden Daniels out of LSU. This guy has really put on a good show in his first two preseason games for the Commanders, that he is now the starter for the Commanders. And I really just think that that's the best move for the Commanders and for their new head coach down there, and Dan Quinn. So, and then they also had made some couple moves, made a crazy move. They got rid of their, draft number 1 draft pick from what was that last year, and they sent them to Philadelphia. That was like a crazy move. And you was like, what's up with that? Is there in-house drama? Was that beef? Was there another wide receiver that can really take his place or whatnot? And the Washington Commanders right now is bringing in what's his name, Luke McCaffrey, seeing Christian McCaffrey brother as their slot wide receiver. So obviously he might have made some noise that he can go ahead fill that role, that he can be out on the field with Scary Terry a lot. Then you got the Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, now arguably probably have the best trio of wide receivers in AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and the guy that they just got from the Washington Commanders. And then now you're getting a healthy Jalen Hurts. You probably can get a healthy Saquon Barkley that you add to the mix. So we looking at the Philadelphia Eagles at a totally different team now. This team can be, explosive like the Miami Dolphins a little bit. This team, we already seen that AJ Brown had to get drug tested last year. If this team, like who are you going to drug? You going to drug test everybody? So, you can see the Philadelphia Eagles making a better stride. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys, who didn't make any moves at all, really. But to bring back Zeke Elliott. Don't know why. I know why. You shouldn't let him go in the first place. That's the only reason why you brought him back. But he's not going to be your primary guy. You let Tony Pollard go. So it's like, where's the offense going to come from? Then you got problems with CeeDee Lamb. He not reporting to camp because, he wants the new contract. Then you got old Jerry Jones coming on, interviews. And this goes back to if you're tired of your CEO dancing in all your videos and all that, that's what Jerry Jones is doing. Dancing all in the videos. He is diddying it. Coming on there talking about saying, he's not a, top priorities, bop this. Then you got your, number 1 wide receiver saying, clapping back at the owner. So you got problems there. Then you got problems with Dak Prescott, who wants, on his last year of his contract. And it's a possibility that this guy might walk next year. So it's just like so much drama going on in Dallas. And they talking about, and Jerry Jones was the same guy, the same owner that said, we are all in. I don't know what the hell they all in, man, because these guys last year, before I let it slip away, they was 12-5 last year. They won a division. The Eagles was 11-6. What a banged up Jalen Hurts. Then you had the Commanders 4-13 and the Giants 6-11. And you're talking about you all in, and you didn't really make no moves. You let Stephon Gilmore walk out the door also. So I guess you're going to sit here and rely on what's the guy named Deron Bland that have another star-out year. You banking on that, and you banking on Diggs to be, back to his normal self or at least decent football normal self to actually try to be that guy that he, gambling guy again. It takes time. I understand that these athletes saying that their body is right and they ready to come back on, they because they on contract. But at the same time, man, sometimes these ACL injuries takes a long time. It ain't just the you can run and jog again and put the equipment on. It's like, now can you stop and go with these wide receivers, because it's a pass happy league. There's no more hip drop tackles now. So I'm pretty sure chasing behind tackles is going to drop a lot now. So I just think that the Dallas Cowboys really just set themselves up for failure, and they're going to really be hurt this year. Now, I think that they still going to be a stellar team. I think CeeDee Lamb is potentially one going to come back, in my opinion. I can kind of see it. But at the same time, man, you just don't want to bank on that. And then, like I said, you seen that each team in this division really kind of try to take that next step. Maybe step into the Giants. They hopefully Daniel Jones can change it around a little bit for them. Hopefully, they made the right decision letting Saquon Barkley walk. Hopefully, Malik Neighbors can really be that guy that everybody's projecting him to be. But I still feel like the Giants can catch a game or two. You feel me? So I just think that the Cowboys really set themselves up. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to be basement bottom feeders. I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying that they might not make the playoffs because Dallas always kind of find a way to make the playoffs. But I am going to go ahead and say that Dallas will not win that division this year. I will say that. And depending on how Washington really can settle in and make sure that they all in with Jaden Daniels and protect him, and he can make explosive plays and people can help him with explosive plays. The Washington Commanders can almost catch the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm going to go ahead and be safe and say that this is how the NFC East is going to go down. Like I said, I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will win their division. They will go 12-5, in my opinion. I think, like I said, those key additions that they really brought, they really made sure that even with a banged up Jalen Hurts, that offense is still going to be dynamic and be able to be explosive. So I really think that the Philadelphia Eagles will win that division at 12-5. 9-8 is going to be the Dallas Cowboys, but I really just think that's going to be a hurtful 9-8. It's going to be a close games come like type 9-8. I think it's going to get them enough to actually kind of squeak into the playoffs. But I really just think that they're going to have a crazy season and they're going to be 9-8. The Washington Commanders, I think they're going to go 8-9. I think they're going to have a okay season, but I really just think that I need to see a little bit more from that rookie quarterback. I need to see how Dan Quinn is really going to how to operate this defense. Because now is this defensive line really going to be able to show up, even though they lost a couple pieces like Chase Young and they lost Montez Sweat. So I just really want to see how this defensive line and how that defensive period is really going to actually be able to play this year. So I give them 8-9. The New York Giants, like I said, I'm not really sold on what they did in the offseason either. But I just think that they can win a couple of games here and there. And I think they're going to be, like a 16-11 type season, you feel me? So, like I said, 12-5 for the Eagles, 9-8 for the Cowboys, 8-9 for the Washington Commanders, 16-11 for the New York Giants. Now, this last division that I'm going to go ahead and talk about is, my opinion, the second best division in football. You feel me? If you want to know who is the number one division, I feel like is the top division in the NFL, you got to wait the next week. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a tease right there. You got to wait the next week. But honestly, though, I think that the NFC North is the second best division, man. And I think that this division, depending on how the other divisions play out, depending on how some of these teams could win in conference play, this division can possibly produce 3 playoff teams. You know what I mean? It's a possibility. We got to see how things play out. So this is how the NFC North stacks up. You got the Green Bay Packers, you got the Minnesota Vikings, you got the Detroit Lions, and you got the Chicago Bears. And each of these teams really, really took advantage of the offseason. You know what I mean? Whether they did it in the draft, whether they did it in the free agency, whether You know what I mean? Whether they extended players, give the right players new contracts. Each of these teams really took care of business. You know what I mean? Now, some of these teams might have took some losses, like the Minnesota lost Kirk Cousins. The Chicago Bears traded away Justin Fields, but drafted Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? The Minnesota Vikings drafted J.J. McCarthy, but now he's on IR dealing with a meniscus tear in his knee. The Green Bay Packers signed Jordan Love to an extension. Went on here and gave him another running back and Josh Jacobs. You know what I mean? That can kind of be, you know, a dual threat, whether it's catching up the backfield and rushing for 1,000 yards. Then you got the Detroit Lions where they still adding pieces to, you know what I mean, finish off where they finished off last year. So each team really is looking to be real competitive this year. And I think that this division will be real competitive, you feel me? And this is how it stacked up last year. 12-5 for the Detroit Lions, 9-8 for the Green Bay Packers, 7-10 for the Chicago Bears, 7-10 for the Minnesota Vikings. And I really think that it's going to be a little bit, you can just see that it was competitive kind of here. Both teams, you know, losing teams spending at 7-10. Green Bay Packers finished at 9-8, and they got hot towards the end of the season. And the Detroit Lions really showed you, you know what I mean, that Dan Campbell's system, what he was trying to create, is actually working. So, you know what I mean, you add all that up into the NFC North, now you get a competitive conference. I mean, division, you feel me? So, I really just think that this division is going to be competitive. Now, I understand that a lot of people is putting a lot of hype in Caleb Williams. A lot of hype. And like I said, this division really can potentially give out 3 playoff teams. But this is how I kind of see the NFC North is going to play out. You got the Lions, who I think is going to win the division still, because like I said, I just think that they're going to build off what they did. I don't think that they're going to be the same team from last year from 12-5, but as far as you know, like I said, a record of being 12-5, because this division is going to be competitive. But I think I got them going 11-6. I got Green Bay Packers going 10-7. I just think that I need to see what their defense is going to be like. Because last year their defense kind of gave away some games last year that I felt like that Jordan Love put up enough stats to win the game, but I also just felt like the defense let some of the games slip away. So I just think that I need to see more out of that. I think that the Chicago Bears will be 9-8. I need to see growth out of Caleb Williams, man. I need to see that. Understand that he did a great preseason, but I just need to see more from him out of this regular season now. You feel me? I need to see how this whole offense is going to click. You know what I mean? I see that, yes, you got a good vet in Keenan Allen. You got DJ Moore. You have DeAndre Swift. So, and then you got what was that tight end name? I think his name Connect, if I'm not mistaken. You got a good decent tight end, you know what I mean, that can also feed into that offense. So I just think that with all these weapons that you have around him, Caleb Williams really can't mess this shot up. But I really just think that their growth, you know what I mean, is really going to really stop Chicago a little bit. Far as for the Minnesota Vikings, I think they're going to go 6-11. In my opinion, the reason why I think they're going to go 6-11 is because now they is dealing with J.J. McCarthy, who I felt like he could have been playing about mid-season maybe. But now I just think that it's going to derail some things. Don't get me wrong. I think that Sam Darnold will have a decent year, and I think that he's going to be able to chance to resurrect his career with this, because you got Justin Jefferson, and then you added Aaron Jones, and then you got their tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. Is that him? No, I can't remember. I could be wrong, but their tight end that they have down there, I just think that Minnesota have the recipe, but I just think that Minnesota is going to take some time. And they got the young guy, Addison also, who I believe will be able to play this season, majority of the season. I don't think that no suspension or anything is going to come down to him from his DUI situation. But long as he can grow and produce and help out Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold can really go ahead and do his thing, I really just think that the Minnesota Vikings can have a decent season, but it's not going to be the breakout season that they expecting to have. So I think they're going to finish 6-11. So, like I said, I just think that Detroit Lions will win this 11-6. The Green Bay Packers will be 10-7. The Chicago Bears will be 9-8. The Minnesota Vikings will be 6-11. And like I said, I think that this division can potentially have 3 playoff teams. You feel me? Depending on how their season goes, and depending on how the rest of the conference goes. So there you have it, man. That's how I just broke down this whole division. So I think that the Lions will win the NFC North. I think that the Eagles will win the NFC East. I think that the San Francisco 49ers will win the NFC West. And I just think that the Atlanta Falcons will win the NFC South. You feel me? So with that being said, man, with the 8 playoff teams, I think that these teams will make the playoffs. No, it's an 8, it's a 7. 7. I'm thinking about basketball. My bad. These 7 teams will make the playoffs. The NFC South will only have 1 team, and I think that's going to be Atlanta Falcons. The San Francisco 49ers, the LA Rams, the Eagles, the Cowboys. Oof. I might have to take something back, y'all. The Lions and the Green Bay Packers. So the 49ers, the Falcons, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Lions, and the Green Bay Packers. Those are my teams who I predict to make the playoffs this year. So if you feel like that, you think otherwise, man, go ahead and go in the comments and tell me who y'all think they're gonna win each division. Tell me who y'all feel is gonna make the playoffs out of those teams that I just said. Like I said, I feel like the Chicago Bears can make the playoffs, but I just don't think that they're going to quite make it. I think they're going to win some games, but I don't really count on them making the playoffs. You feel me? So, there y'all go. That is my NFC prediction right there, man. So I appreciate y'all, man. Before I let y'all go, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know if y'all didn't see the announcement already. MTMO prediction season will be back for its 4th year. You feel me? So if you are interested in joining the MTMO prediction, what is the MTMO prediction, Dave? I'm gonna go ahead and break it down to you. It's where it's a group of us who go ahead and pick games each week. But this year I got a twist to it as we pick games this year, only when it comes down to the Monday night games. And that's the only tease I'm going to give you. But yeah, all you doing is pick games, you feel me? Whoever got the best record, you know what I mean, can also win a hat and a t-shirt, you feel me? Depending on not depending on that's the prize right there. I got a little announcement. The returning champ from last year said she is here to come back to defend her crown. Matter of fact, the last 3-year champs is back in it this year. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of smash talk because one of my homeboys is already talking trash already. So all you got to do is reach out to me in my DMs on Instagram. If you're not already a follower, go ahead and follow my social media platform. Instagram MTMO_sports podcast. Hit me in the DMs to simply say that you want to join. And the great thing about it is it's free of cost. No money down. Nothing. All you gotta do is say you want to participate. Then you win. So, like I said, man, I'm looking to crown a new champ, maybe, or maybe I can have my first back-to-back champ. Never know, man. So, if you like I said, if you're interested in joining MTMO prediction season, man, just hit me up on my Instagram DM and just say that you want to join in, man. So that's all the news that I have, man. Shout out to everybody that joined in. Shout out to all my viewers, subscribers. I hope you really enjoyed this episode, man. Gotta get out of here. Gotta take my sons to their pet rally for their football season. I heard it's gonna be pretty live, so great. Go ahead and get them on their way on that one, man. But like I said, man, make sure y'all go out here, hit that like, share, subscribe button. If you're not already a follower or a subscriber to any of my platforms, whether it's the social media, if you're looking to be on my social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok, MTMO_sports podcast, X, and Facebook. You got my THTS, my opinion. You can find me on any of those social media platforms, or you can go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe button on YouTube, where you can get all notifications when anything drops. You feel me? That's coming from MTMO. So, shout out to my favorite ladies in Locked In Sports. They had a dropped the episode recently, man. A dope episode, man. So if y'all looking for the females' point of view on these sports, man, check them out. They got real dope content. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Shout out to my guy Rod on Uncensored Podcast, man. My guy Rod, man. Big fan. Appreciate you always giving me a chance to drop my videos and everything on your platform, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guy Chris, man. I can't wait to catch y'all up in the morning for some hoop action. Shout out to my guy Mike B. Also can't wait to see y'all tomorrow morning. The hoop too. Shout out to the East Howard Jaguars, man. We're gonna have a stellar season for the 12U American, man. We're gonna have a great season. I can just feel that. So make sure y'all stay up on tune on that as I drop, information about what my sons and how my son's team is doing. You feel me? So, like I said, man, follow the movement, man. Follow all my social media platforms. You feel me? So there you have it. My 128th thoughts. You feel me? The NFC prediction episode. I'm out. I catch you when I catch you. And always, big trust.